right, here we are. We got our 34 Ford Coupe Street Beast, okay, replica, and we got our guide coat on the primer. And what that guide coat does is when we block sand that down, that's going to show us all the imperfections. It's going to make sure that we got that the primer finished nice and block sanded out and smooth and don't have nothing in the primer to give us any blemishes in the paint. It's going to show us where our little pinholes are that we need to fill in. Little pinholes are that we need to fill in. Little pinholes are that we need to fill in. Little pinholes are that we need to fill in. Now we've also installed the lower dash on this car, and we are going to install, I'm going to make a center console for it right in that area there. Okay, right in that area there. Right in that area there. Right in that area there. Now, we have all our small pieces ready, block sanded down and painted, as you can see right here. And when I say small pieces, I'm talking about the side panels, the hood, the deck lid, inside and out, ready to paint. And what we're working on over here, we're working on our doors. Now, what I'm doing is I'm block sanding the door jambs down, if you can see right. And if you look real close, you can see that there's a green line. Now what that is, that's Evercoat, okay? It's a type form of Bondo. Now these are imperfections that were in this vehicle, okay, in this door that we had to fill in. A bunch of little pinholes and imperfections that were there that we filled in. And what I do is I sand, dry sand all the door jambs in the inside area of the door. And then this door here is ready for wet sanding the outside. Now I've also got this door completely done. And if you look at that door, you can see the finish on this door is very, very nice. Okay? Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Okay? What we found here, if you look real close right there, let's zoom in. What you see, that's an Evercoat spot, and having my guide coat on there, I found that those two pinholes right there, and the guide coat is actually a helper for me to find those. So I found those little pinholes. I'm filling it in with some light Evercoat. And we also found us another air pocket in our fiberglass, in our resin, and I had to get that air pocket out, and then I fill it in with Evercoat, okay, block it out, and that's ready to paint. All right, to properly sand your vehicle, now this applies to the whole car, what I'm gonna show you, okay? And I'm gonna show you on this door. So imagine the whole car being sanded, because that's what we're doing. We're starting out with our bolt-on pieces, then we're gonna do the whole car after we get everything painted on this. And we're gonna be putting flames on this. So it's very important that when you sand your car down, have that guide coat on there, okay? And what you wanna do is you wanna wet sand your car, okay? Don't dry sand it, you're gonna have too many deep scratches. Wet sanding it will give you that nice polished look finish that's gonna give you the slickest paint job you can. The final sand job on your car before painting is the most important sand job. The reason for that is because if you don't have a good prep job, which I'm calling this our prep job, okay, your paint job will look like crap. It's very important to do it right, take your time, and it'll come out perfect. 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 I'm gonna get me some 400 wet. I'm gonna wrap my block just like I told you. And I'm gonna use my sponge. And what I'm gonna do is hand block this section out. I have my squeegee by my hand, by my side. I got my sponge. If you notice, I'm just using minor water. Okay, I want that sandpaper. Okay, I want that sandpaper to get a little bit muddy on me. That's telling me that's sanding. Squeegee it down, just like so. And as I look at it, I see that it's coming out very nice. All my little low spots are gone. All my hidden primer spots are gone. And Go back over this little section one more time. Do not sand with your hand. What you will do is you will leave grooves in it. Always cross sand like you see me doing here, okay? Okay, and then come back this way, all right? Don't go back and forth, okay, all the time. Go back and forth like this, and then come back this way. It's very important to cross sand. So I see it drying off. I see that this section's in real good shape. And that's basically how you get your car ready to paint. Enjoy what you're doing and do what you enjoy. Make this a fun project, not a nightmare. 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 All right. The first procedure after wet sanding your street beast down is to tape everything off that you don't want paint, okay? Now, everywhere that you see white, okay, where we burned through the primer, we're not really concerned about that because we're gonna put epoxy primer sealer on top of that. We're gonna put a nice thick coat, okay? Not really thick, but medium, to cover all the spots where we had to burn through and where we found deep gouge scratches like so. If you can see, I filled that in with Evercoat, so that's all flush sanded now. And that's a good example of your guide coat. Without your guide coat, we would have never saw that because the black paint would get down in the grooves. When you're block sanding it, it's gonna show us that scratch. So that's been filled in and fixed. If you look right there, there's another little pinhole. And I'm gonna show you how little that is when I zoom out, okay? You might not see that now, but if you don't take your time and fix it, here's another one. Okay, zoom. Okay, you might not see it now, but that will stick out like a sore thumb. We're gonna put some mild flames on this vehicle coming out of the side panels and into the doors. Now, when you're doing special artwork such as flames, graphics, airbrushing type stuff, what you want to do is use DBC 500 color blender. And what that is, that's a very fast drying clear sealer, okay? It's a urethane clear sealer. What that does, that seals everything in, so when you go to touch it, you tape it off, blah, 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 you do all your artwork, and everything will come out very nice, and you won't smudge your paint or ruin the texture of the paint before you clear it. It's actually a clear coat protected. I'm gonna take this section because our flames are just gonna be right here, coming out of the grill into the doors. So I'm gonna go ahead and block sand this area down so I can paint this. I'll put the sealer on it. I'll go ahead and mount the doors back on the car and the side panels. I'll get the side panel runners on so everything lines up. I'll tape all my flames off and I'm gonna show you how to do that. Okay, it's a very, very easy because we're just gonna put nice, clean, simple, hot rod 50 stone. So let me get that block sanded down. As you see, this has got the guide coat on it. Okay, we had some body work in this area we had to fix. Okay, so I fixed the body work. We had some imperfections from the factory. I'm gonna block sand that all out. And then I'm gonna tape it off, okay? And that's another thing about this. I don't have to tape the whole car off. I'm just gonna tape the area off where I'm gonna paint it. We'll get the blue, the Viper, Dodge Viper blue paint on there. I'll get the sealer on it. And we'll come back and look at it